not to eat. And even with this whole thing about the keto fad diet kind of stuff, where you basically completely drop almost all your carbs and stuff. And I found that that's not really the way to go. They've actually done studies and they found that can be very harmful, in fact. So, you know, doesn't mean you have to have tons and tons of carbs, but a lot of your carbs will get burned when you're working out anyway. And so, you know, I can make it simple about diet and supplements. Like, really just, you know, do what I said, you know, with the big ones. Have lots of, eat tons of good veggies and greens. Have your superfoods. You know, find like a good organic, like multi, like the Synergy company makes the one that I take for my multiple vitamin I take every day. And then I'll take like a greens, like Green Vibrance is one of the best ones. Green Vibrance could get my top pick of any supplement because it's so loaded with everything at once. Your vitamins and minerals, your superfoods, your greens, like your algae and all these things combined, and like your adaptogens and things that help relieve stress and just improve your, you know, all your body systems and stuff like that. So you can take Pure Synergy. That's the one from them. It's a classic one. It's been around for years and years. It's loaded with all your algae and your wheatgrass, your etc., your mushrooms, your medicinal mushrooms. Probiotics are really important to take. I think New Chapter makes great probiotics. They make one even for mood that I really like. So have lots of probiotics every day. Take your multi. Get your fish oil. I like to take Life Extension. They make one that's a mix of different things, like your Aztec xanthan and something to do with olive extract or something like that, and you get your you know, your fish oil. And I recommend that over like flaxseed oil or some vegetable based omega-3, because you get your DHA and EPA from the fish oil. So fish oil is very popular. It's stood the test of time. I take it every day, and so those are some of the biggest ones, you know. And then from there, it's just whatever you think you need. You know, you might need more adaptogens. You might need more stress relief. You might need more structural support. The best, you know, skeletal support supplement is by the Synergy company, or Pure Synergy. Bone Renewal, it's called. That's the one that I definitely recommend. So, you know, there's just lots of supplements out there. There's lots of herbs. You know, you go on VitaCost, for example. That's the place that sells them, and you can look at their sales, and they're going to sell the top brands. And, you know, New Chapter, Pure Synergy, those are just a couple that come to mind that are some of the biggest and best ones. There's lots of them, really. So, so what else, you know? So then we can talk about exercise. You know, for me, I like to meditate first thing. Then ideally have my smoothie and have a good breakfast. I personally usually try to have a big salad with like all kinds of good greens, and like mustard greens, and there's all kinds of things you can put in there, and like a spring mix. And I like to have hard-boiled eggs, organic hard-boiled eggs. I might have 2 to 3, and then you can put like a good herbal seasoning blend with lots of good herbs and seasonings that are healthy, a little sea salt, whatever. And that's my favorite personal breakfast with my superfood smoothie. And then I love the ideal, if I can, I like to go out for a walk like I am now, or even add a little run. And although it's running, you only want to do it maybe, you know, like 3 times a week, maybe for about 15 minutes or 20 minutes at a time. Because actually overextending yourself in running, they found, is actually bad for your heart and not good for you. So, but they say that moderate running is actually the opposite and better for your heart than not doing it at all. So, and then, you know, if you overrun, I think you can really put a lot of pressure and tension on your knees over time, and your knees can start giving out. And so there right there is a great way to start your day. You did your meditating, whatever you decide to do there. It's not, you don't only have to limit yourself to the brain wave, but you can, you know, then you have your really good breakfast and a smoothie. You might go on the internet a little bit to check, but I generally am trying to steer myself and others away more from the internet. A lot of it just becomes a source of an addiction and a waste of time. So, you know, I mean, there's lots of good information out there, and lots of good, you know, people and videos, and a lot of social media ultimately is just a big waste of time. It can become a big addiction. But you know, you can go on it within moderation. But if you're on social media more than a couple hours a day, I mean, that's just a big waste of time, in my opinion. So you're better off just, you know, investing yourself and doing what you love to do if you can. If you're not working right now and you have the time because of the virus or whatever, or you're just, you know, you're retired or whatever your reason is, then if you are, you know, in a student who can choose after high school, you know, I really recommend just going with what you love to do, even if you learn at home, even if it's music related, you know, learning how to produce, how to record music, how to songwrite. I mean, I really think the arts need more support. They do have a lot of support these days. There's plenty of independent artists on the internet that are getting their work out there, that are inspiring each other. Instagram is actually a great resource for that, I found. I've got lots and lots of followers on there from just other musicians, and it's a great network of sort of like a family of musicians doing similar things, and it's really encouraging and inspiring, and it makes you want to do better work. Obviously, the more followers you get on Instagram, the more inspired you get to put out quality work, so that can be a good thing. That can be where Instagram is actually healthy and positive. Just don't get consumed by it. Don't worry about comparing yourself to other people and thinking that they're doing better than you are or something like that. You know, don't get jealous. It's just not worth it. And if you do, then you got to do your inner work until you find what's at the root cause of that. Because I can go on Instagram, I don't get jealous of anyone. I see people in relationships. Maybe I see people even getting married. Actually, I really don't see that, come to think of it. It's more people, you know, they could be in a relationship, and well, I may not be right now, but I don't have to get jealous about that. I support it. It's like great. It's kind of makes me happy. It's great to see people in love and happy together. You know, maybe my videos about relationships could help them, you know, so. And let's see, I'm looking at it. I got about 13 minutes left here, so I'm really going to jam-pack this with good content, not really, you know, jump around my words too much. And also by doing these talks, I can really, you know, work on myself too, because it really does mirror back what I might need to work on, and in different little different ways. It inspires me, and I also kind of am doing, you know, and getting a lot more done from my time, because I could come out and just walk like I usually do, but with this I get to talk to and put out content to help people out, and so why not? I mean, it feels better, and it feels like I'm also helping myself too. The more we can motivate and inspire even just yourself and through others in this kind of way, the better these days, right? The world kind of needs it. So, and I'm just really speaking my mind and walking around out in nature. I mean, walking around a neighborhood, and you really can't go wrong with that. So, then after that, then ideally you're really pursuing what you love to do. Like if you're a student, then if you, let's say you are a student of music and singing or learning how to write music or you know, record music or produce, then you know, you spend some of your time doing that, and you're always going to be happy when you're doing what you love to do, when you're doing what you love to learn. I mean, or you're doing karaoke, or you're learning how to sing in key better. You know, with music you can't ever go wrong, because there's always something more to do. So I highly recommend everyone try to be a singer or a musician if it's possible. If you have the passion and you to do it, it's great. Singing is so good for your health. I love doing it. And I do my exercises, you know, set your voice free. So that's another thing you can throw in if you happen to be improving as a singer. And all those exercises should be done every day anyway, because you should never be singing unless you're warmed up. So I'll try to get in my exercises every day. Maybe let's say after I work out, I'll come back, I'll do a workout, I'll do my vocals. I feel really great. I set a great foundation for the rest of the day. I'm high energy. I've had all my good food and my superfoods and my supplements. You know, I got a good level of awareness. I'm present, and you know, and then you're coming from a high frequency. And when you're coming from that high frequency sort of state of mind, then it feels great. I mean, you're going to be happy. So there, right there, that's happiness to me. Is, you know, it's not dependent on how much money you have, how nice your house is, how nice your car is, how good looking your girlfriend or boyfriend is, or you know, how much you spent on your last vacation, or what's on your bucket list, and so forth and so on. It's simple, Happiness should be simple. If it's complicated, if you got to work hard to get it, yes, hard work can bring happiness, but it shouldn't really be hard. It should actually come easy, is the truth. And you don't have to be in a relationship to be happy. You don't have to have even really any friends to be happy. But it's certainly going to help. I mean, relationships are going to help happiness, but it's definitely not necessary to have all that to be happy per se. But it's definitely going to enhance it. So you can look at relationships and these kind of things like, oh, going out to eat at a nice restaurant, you know, going to watch a movie, renovating your house, buying a nice new house, you know, going to the beach. These are all enhancer happiness, but they're not the keys to happiness. They're not the root causes of becoming happy. So doing those things in amongst themselves is not going to make you happy. You know, putting up all your selfies on Instagram, where you're showing off your last, you know how nice your body looks now after you've lost weight, or you know, your latest bikini, or whatever. I mean, that's not going to bring happiness either. It could bring temporary boost, because people might say, "Oh, you look so beautiful, and look how in shape you are, and you know, congratulations," and on and on. And but if you're not finding that from within, if you're not validating yourself from within, then it's just an endless seeking approval on the outside through social media and endless pictures and day after day. And that's not the way either. I mean, I have to wonder, you know, how low some people's self-esteem who are doing that. I mean, I'm not saying that it proves that they have issues with that, but look, again, it goes back to square one. If you've got issues with your self-esteem, you're not accepting yourself as you are, you need constant validation and approval outside yourself from like guys or girls on social media or Instagram or dating apps or whatever, then, you know, go back to square one, you know, do your meditating, clear all that out, and then and take a break from all that. In fact, I think the more you're doing that, the more you need to take a break from it and find that actually that was never your source of true happiness at all. In fact, it was false happiness. It was just validation seeking behavior and you know, trying to find happiness in the wrong way, trying to feel good about yourself in sort of an artificial, synthetic way that is going to continue to prove that it never really works. It's really false. It's just distorted, and it's not really doing anything good for you in the end. It's probably just a big waste of time, in fact. So there's much more productive things to do. So if you really look at it, sort of this holistic model, this pattern of your day is really what is the core of happiness. And it's what you eat, it's what you do, it's how you think. It's not so much where you are, it's not so much location dependent. It's not because of how nice or how terrible your house is, but obviously if you're happy, you're going to want to live in a nice house. You want to clean up, you want to be organized, you want to have good time management, you want to maintain that flow state, you want to, you know, look out for yourself and so forth and so on. I mean, those are going to be natural byproducts of true happiness. So having lots of energy, you know, adding new layers to what you're doing and not just getting stuck in redundancy or, you know, in sabotaging yourself or procrastination. Let's see, about 6 minutes left in here. So, it's coming to an end pretty soon. The keys to happiness. And also what enhances relationships, as we talked previously. So, I was trying to think of anything else that comes to mind. Because if you just keep doing those things, you know, happiness is also about maintenance. It's not about, boom, you got there, and then you can take a long break from all these things. These are things that are really a daily thing. And I would also say, you know, get away from the mainstream media and all that news, and a lot of it's bad news. A lot of it's lowering your frequency. A lot of it's putting you in a state of fear. A lot of it's encouraging more separation from other people. And if you really think about what do things like protesting really bring? I mean, you can bring awareness out there, but if you're really contributing to this side versus that side, that can be sort of a never-ending vicious cycle that just creates more separation between people and divide. And I I don't know, be careful what you're supporting out there. Be careful what you're putting your energy and your attention to, because perception is really a big part of happiness, and there's certain things out there that are just going to, take away from your happiness, and make your perception sort of flawed and distorted, and full of fear and anxiety and separation from people and hating other people and judging people, criticizing people because they believe in this or that, or where they stand on this issue or that issue, or on this side of the fence, or they're all for this political party or versus this other side, and so forth and so on. And just be careful with that stuff, because you got to see what you're projecting. How you are thinking to yourself about those things is how you're going to treat other people, and that's definitely taking away from your happiness. It's taking away from others' happiness. If you're fighting with friends and family all the time about different world issues currently, I mean, that's taking away from your happiness. Plant seeds, if you will. Put information out there that you think is accurate and true, and some people will take it, some people won't. And it's not about forcing other people your view. And I would say generally stay away from politics and these kind of topics with people, because it's only probably going to hurt matters, generally speaking, especially if you're not seeing eye to eye about most things with other people. And at this time, our happiness is going to come mostly from within, because we're so limited more these days with what we can do, who we can hang out with, where we can go, or we always have to be so worried if about this and that. So it's just a lot of it's about your home and just yourself, and not so much like not depending on so-called worldly happiness, like happiness you're going to get out there on vacations or going around and hanging out with lots of different people, because that's not really going to be happening for probably a long time with a lot of people. So be content with yourself. You're the one that you're going to bed with at night, even if you're have a partner and you're sleeping in the same bed. You're the only one you're falling asleep. I mean, you're not dreaming with another person at the same time. When you're dreaming, it's just you. I mean, someone could be right next to you, but ultimately, all you have is yourself at the end of the day, and it's what matters the most. So treat yourself right, be kind to yourself, and just do the best you can. Everyone's doing the best with their own level of awareness. Everyone knows what they know based on what they're paying attention to, what information they're listening to, what they're believing, what they're not believing. And keep seeking the truth. Don't just believe what is popular, and don't just blindly go by what, even if all your friends and family are believing it, who knows, maybe they're wrong. And it's always worth considering other views and doing research on the internet and finding out what you find yourself. And if somebody doesn't feel right, then it's probably flawed, it's probably false, it's probably inaccurate, and there could even be an agenda behind it. So, go your own way if you need to. That's one of I think the biggest key to happiness, when all is said and done, when I think about it, is going your way, walking the less beaten path, being a trailblazer. Being one who has found happiness completely within, not dependent on anything on the outside of yourself. And that's how I'm going to leave it. So with another minute left, see if there's any final thoughts. Obviously at this time, trying to find true happiness is a great venture, a great way to spend your time, because there's so much unhappiness in the world right now. There's so much people that are in shock and disbelief and fear and anxiety and separation, and they've lost their jobs and they're worried about the world and where are we going and when is this going to end, etc. Well, have trust, have faith, and don't give your power away to anything that seems corrupt. If everyone does what's in alignment with truth, we're all going down the right path, and we're going to do the best we can for each other in the world. So with that said, this is Daniel Diamond. It's been another great talk, and the time's just about to go off. So have a great day where you are. Take care. Bless you. Lots of love to you.